I could never have imagined, even in my dreams, that a small photograph would turn my whole world into pieces in a moment. It was just a flash, a simple photograph, which someone might have taken inadvertently, but it shook the foundation of my life. There was that heartbreaking scene. Mark, my husband, with whom I spent every small and big moment of my life for 10 years, had fun while drinking tea together every morning and slept peacefully in each other's arms every night. And there was Sarah, my dearest friend with whom I shared all my secrets, every pain and every joy. Both of them smiled together. There was a sparkle in their eyes like I had never seen before. This betrayal fell on my heart like a heavy stone, a weight that I could neither lift nor leave. My breathing almost stopped, my heart was pounding, and my hands started sweating, as if the whole truth of life had come before me in one go. My name is Emily, and that one moment took away all the colors of my life. Till yesterday, everything was so lovely sitting outside the house in the light morning sun, laughing with Mark, chatting for hours with Sarah. But now, that picture made everything dark, as if someone had extinguished the lamp of my happiness. Now neither that laughter is left nor that peace. There is only emptiness, which is troubling me every moment. I live in the small town of Silver Pine in Oregon, where every face seems familiar, like a story. The brother in the shop who always smiles, the old auntie who sits outside her house and watches the children across the street. Mornings are magical here. The dust covers the evergreen trees like a light sheet. Their leaves move gently in the cool breeze, and it seems as if the sky is ready to cry silently, hiding its words in the dust. Our locality filled the heart with peace. Small houses breathed next to each other. In front of each one stood a white picket fence like the shadow of the locality, and there were gardens of flowers where the fragrance of roses, jasmine, and lavender wafted in the air, filling the heart with a mild happiness. Our house was also one of them, a two-story blue house whose color was like the depths of the ocean. In front of it was a big wraparound porch where I used to sit drinking tea in the morning, and a backyard behind where the sun rose every evening. This was the place where Mark and I used to spend time together every weekend, sometimes cutting grass, sometimes planting new flowers, sometimes just sitting and talking, visualizing our dreams, some of a small family, some of a new beginning, some of a promise to live old age together. Now all these memories prick the heart as if it was a dream that got shattered. Now it all seems like a painful joke, as if life has played a trick on me, has turned every moment of happiness into a lie. Till yesterday, this house, this neighborhood, these memories were the piece of my life morning breakfast with Mark, sitting and chatting in the evening, and those little dreams that we were creating together. But now, it all has become a painful joke, as if someone is snatching my happiness with his hands and laughing. I work part-time in the local library, a small place where old wooden cupboards are filled with books, where a mild fragrance of old books wafts and a cool breeze comes in from the windows. Those books became my friends. Sometimes a love story, sometimes a story of a travel, in whose pages I would lose myself. Sitting there, I would calm the storm in my heart. Sometimes small worries about home, sometimes fatigue. Sometimes I would talk to myself and steal a moment of peace. Mark is a real estate agent, so charming that his smile can win anyone's heart. Always in tip-top, absolutely perfect in a suit, hair done up, and that voice which softly touched the heart. His words would melt the heart. Sometimes he would make me laugh. Sometimes he would praise me. Sometimes he would show me dreams of the future. We met in college. We saw a small spark in each other's eyes that day. When we got drowned together in the rain for the first time, we started laughing, holding each other's hand. From there, I started the journey from heart to heart. Love grew from small meetings, and then we built a life together. One home, one routine, a promise that I thought would last a lifetime. I wished from my heart that we are happy, that our bond is strong, like a strong bond that never falls. We used to laugh together, cry, dream, everything for each other. But now, even this belief seems like a broken dream. I considered Sarah my confidant, with whom I could share every pain of my heart, every little joy, everything that I might not be able to tell anyone else. We used to sit and talk for hours, sometimes in a corner of a coffee shop with hot teacups in hand, sometimes on the porch of my house, under a blanket in the light of the evening sun. I used to tell her every little secret of my life, sometimes a small fight with Mark, sometimes the pressure of work, sometimes the dreams of the children that I used to keep hidden in my heart. Her sweet smile, her way of understanding me, the sparkle of friendship in her eyes, I felt that this bond is true, a relationship that never breaks. I thought I knew my closest people from the depths of my heart. Mark's love, Sarah's loyalty, their faces, their words, the emotions of their hearts. I thought to myself that these people are the part of my life who will always be with me, who will stand behind me in my happiness and sorrow. But today, this storm is breaking my heart, becoming a straight cheek and saying, I was so wrong. One picture changed everything. That smile which was on Mark and Sarah's face, that way of sitting next to each other, that moment which was hidden from me. Now a burning sensation is rising in my heart. There are tears in my eyes, and one question is roaming again and again. Those people who were my very own, did I ever really know them? Mark and I met in college when we both were studying business, sitting together in class, sharing notes, and sometimes drinking tea in a corner of the canteen and chatting. Those days are still alive in my heart. The rainy season, that old building of the college, and a small beginning between the two of us. But his style of making people his own always gave me a small kiss. It caused a slight pain in the heart. He was extremely confident, always full of confidence. There was a spark in his personality that would touch the heart. The kind of person who would enter any room, spread spread his sweet smile, make everyone laugh with his heartfelt words, and make a group of friends in 4 moments. There was a passion in his eyes, an intoxication in his voice. People would come running to him, and I would watch all this from a distance, with a little burning sensation, and would wish I was also like this. I was quiet, immersed in my thoughts, sometimes lost in the pages of books. Sometimes I would sit alone in the college garden and think. My heart was a little suppressed, away from the noise. I would find peace in my small place. But one day he told me, in the college corridor, when we were standing under a canopy while floating in the rain, that this sacrifice of mine touched his heart. He said, "Emily, you are my peace, my place where I can breathe freely for a while." That talk of hers, that love in her eyes, that light touch of her hands, I accepted from my heart that we were made for each other. And from that moment, the hope of a new journey arose in my heart. I was his ground, the foundation where he could stand with his passion and his dreams in his support. And I was that peace for him in which he found peace in his heart. I held this thing in my heart for years, kept that small promise hidden in my heart, lived with the belief that we are made for each other, like 2 hearts that beat together, dream together. We built a life together, a home where every moment felt full of love. That small but lovely dinner, where we sat at the dining table, looked at each other's faces in the dim light of candles, ate warm food together, and talked. Sometimes small talks of the day, sometimes jokes, sometimes dreams of tomorrow. On weekends, we went hiking in the silver pine jungle, where the cool breeze kissed our cheeks, the rustle of trees filled the heart with a wave, and that silence in which we found the solace of walking hand in hand. And that lazy afternoon, when we would return home, tired but happy at heart, lying on the sofa, hugging our beloved cat, Jasper, she would caress her hair, I would lay my head on her shoulder and feel the comfort of another's breath, as if all the pain of the world had gone away. We may not have had the passion like in films, that passionate love where there is drama at every moment, but our relationship was like a strong chaton, trusting, true, a bond in which I would feel safe from the heart. Or I had taken this morsel in my heart, accepted this beautiful lie as my truth. But now, when that picture came in front of me, it all seemed like a broken dream, like the light of that dinner went out, the wind of that jungle stopped, that peace disappeared, and there was only a deep pain in my heart. Sarah was completely opposite to me, like the difference between the moon and the sun. I was silent, lost in my thoughts, and she was like a storm, living every moment to the fullest. She was strong, full of passion, living life always holding both hands in her hand. There was a color in her voice, as if a song touches the heart. There was a spark in her laughter, such a spark that would drive away the darkness of the summer. Her style was different, sometimes dancing in the rain, sometimes chatting all night. She would always pull me along, and I would find myself lost in her enthusiasm. We met in high school. I still remember those days, sitting in the school ground after class, sharing small things with each other, sometimes laughing and fun, sometimes cheering each other up during the stress of exams. We became so attached to each other's hearts that being separated became a pain, as if a piece of the heart was being stolen. This friendship was alive even when we moved to different cities. I in Silver Pine, she in her new house, but we would talk for hours on the phone. Sometimes we would speak from our hearts after seeing each other's faces on a video call. She was my sister, who was mine from the heart. Not a blood relation, but the bond of heart was deeper than that. Whenever there was a pain in the heart, some small thing, some big problem, when there were tears in the eyes, when life seemed to be just a hassle of bills, work, and daily routine, I would go to her. Sometimes at his home, sometimes on the phone, I would listen to his words. He would explain with gentleness. He would soothe my heart with love. His laughter would bring a little light to my heart, as if a small lamp had lit up in the darkness, and I would again find the courage to live. Sarah and Mark also used to get along from the heart. There was a friendship between them that I always found endearing. She would joke, "Hey, I am the 3rd person in the wedding of you two," and we 3 would roll with laughter. We would sit in the living room of the house and have fun chatting. Sometimes when a bad breakup would break her, she would quietly come to our house with tears in her eyes and pain in her heart. She would settle down on our sofa, covering herself with a blanket, a mug of hot tea in her hand, and I would sit beside her and make her laugh. Mark would try to make her laugh. Sometimes we 3 would go on weekend trips together to the jungle near Silver Pine or to a small lake where we would roam around the whole day, have picnics, sit in the sun and chat, and return home tired in the evening. There was a lovely bond between us 3, like a small family, where laughter, love, and peace were all together. I never had a moment of doubt, neither on Sarah nor on Mark. I had blind faith in both of them, so strong in my heart, like a strong deity that never fell, a faith that became the support of my life. I had thought in my heart that these people are my own, my companions in happiness and sorrow, who would never betray me. But one day, that trust was shattered by a picture, a small photo, perhaps taken in some careless moment, in which Sarah and Mark were smiling together, so close to each other, as if I had never been there before. I felt a sharp pain in my heart, as if a knife had entered my heart. My breathing stopped, my hands started shaking. Now all these memories, those moments of laughter, those fun of trips, those peaceful days, have remained as a deep wound which pricks my heart all the time, reminding me that what seemed to be true was actually a lie. One day, unknowingly, I was opening the drawer of Mark's nightstand, perhaps looking for an old bill, when I found a picture under my fingers among the old receipts. That one moment took away the peace of my life, as if someone had secretly taken away a piece of my heart. At first, my heart consoled itself. Maybe this is a screenshot thought of an important event where Mark was having fun with his clients, or a small moment from our last vacation, the day we walked to the beach, holding hands, smelling the air, and feeling happiness in our hearts. I thought this picture would bring me a little peace and a small smile, but when I took that photograph in my hands, touched it, my heart sank with a jolt, as if someone had fallen into a deep pit from which there was no way to get out. Both Marks were there. His hand was placed on Sarah's waist. Fingers were holding her waist as if she was his own, a hidden love in her arms, such a closeness that it had left my heart for someone else. That smile on both their faces, so sweet, so true, as if there was no heat in the world, as if a small part of their happiness had been created everywhere. But that smile wiped away my sorrow, as if I was never a part of their life, as if my love, my trust, all my memories had turned into a lie. I arose with a pain in my heart, a storm in my eyes, and it seemed as if my breath stopped. In that moment, my world turned into a single wound. There was a date on the photograph from just a week ago, a small line that was secretly marking the time, and the name of the place was also clearly visible. That hotel bar, outside Silver Pine, the same place where we had spent a loving night with each other on our 5th anniversary. I still remember that moment, both of us sitting on a small table, lost in the eyes of each other in the soft light of candles, holding hands, smiling lovingly. That night, Mark held my hand and promised that we will always be together. We will support each other in every happiness and sorrow. We hugged each other. There was a light fragrance in the air, and there was a peace in the heart, a hope that our love will never break. But now, that lovely moment, that day, that night became a deep wound, as if someone had snatched my happiness and ran over it and left a burning sensation, a deep ache in my heart. It was as if my breath stopped. A cold ran through my body. A storm arose in my heart which wanted to destroy everything. My hands started shaking. Fingers were trembling when I picked up the phone and scrolled through more messages. There were small jokes in between them, those laughable moments which perhaps got sent in the early hours of the night, sometimes a silly thing, sometimes an old joke which he never told me. The secrets of the heart got sent in the darkness of the night, those things which come out of the heart, sometimes a message of "I miss you" at 2 in the night, sometimes a small complaint, sometimes a love-filled thing. And those loving words, those "you are my life," those "without you, everything is useless," which Mark should have kept for me, should have whispered in my ear, but he left them for Sarah. Every word passed through my heart like a knife. A sharp pain arose, as if someone was cheering my heart again and again, and with every message, my trust, my love, my world was breaking into pieces. The most painful thing was that for how long this series was going on secretly, a web of lies which was hidden from my eyes so cleverly, as if someone was attacking my heart in the guise of a friend. When did this start? For what months, maybe for what years, these two were playing this game with each other on my back and back? Every day, every moment, when I was spending time happily with them, was this lie still roaming in my life? How many times did they smile in front of me and tell lies? Mark's cute smile, Sarah's friendly face when we three used to sit at home and talk, or meet for a small coffee. How many times did I hug Sarah, cry putting my head on her shoulder, said from my heart that she is a priceless part of my life, that friend of mine who will always stand by me, and she, at that very time, was secretly taking away my happiness, keeping my house alive. Every moment, every promise, every memory was turning into a lie, as if someone was slowly taking away everything from me. Tears filled my eyes, rose like a storm. Each drop made the pain in my heart deeper. Vision became blurred as if the world was hidden behind a rain. Faces, memories, everything was coming in front like a dirty curtain. My heart was pounding loudly as if a drum was playing in my chest. A sharp, restless pain that grew heavier with every breath, did not even think of stopping, as if it was eating me from inside. I became numb. There was no life left in my body. My heart became like a vessel, as if this was not mine but someone else's dark dream, a horrifying story in which I was trapped, from where I could not see any way to escape, just a darkness that was swallowing me. My heart wanted to ask all the questions loudly. I should ask Mark with a strong cheek, "What did you do?" I should stand in front of Sarah and vent out the anger in my heart. "This is how you rewarded my friendship?" My heart was desperate to cry. Tears were flowing from my eyes. I wanted to hear the truth from his mouth. When did this lie start? Why did he keep me in the dark? Why did he ruin my love? But my body turned into stone. My hands and pairs became numb. I could not do even a small movement. There was a storm raging in my heart, but it was like a heavy burden on my body. I was neither able to speak nor walk. I was just standing in a calm state, enduring the pain. My whole world was hanging on a delicate thread of trust, a faith which I had placed in Mark and Sarah with all my heart. Mark's loving hand, which was my support, Sarah's friendship, which was my strength. I had put every piece of my life on them. I thought this bond would never break. But now that thread broke with a jerk, and everything was falling all around me, like a house made of mud collapses in the rain. Slowly at first, the walls tremble, then with a sound, everything gets mixed in the dust, and only a mine of pain remains behind. I went into the living room, legs trembling. Every step was fighting a battle. There was no life in my body, as if the wind of the heart was pulling me down. I looked at my home, the home that Mark and I had built with love. Every single thing had our love in it. The dining table where we sat at night, the sofa where we talked lying next to each other, the pictures on the wall that recorded our happy moments, the wedding day, the first trip, small moments of laughter. Every corner had our memories, our dreams, our promise to live together. But now, this house was looking like a false scene, as if everything was shouting at me that this was all a fraud, and my heart was filled with pain in every piece of this house. The same sofa where we used to sit and talk at night. Sometimes we would have heart-to-heart talks on small things for hours. Sometimes the jokes of the day, sometimes the dreams of tomorrow. Sometimes the whole house would be filled with laughter. Mark's heartfelt laughter and my little happiness would go together. Sometimes we would lovingly kiss the other person, his hand in mine, my head on his shoulder. A peaceful moment where we were far away from the world. The framed photos on the wall were memories of those happy moments. Our wedding day, when we made a promise to someone else. The first trip we took while swimming in the rain. The little laugh we had when we brought our cat Jasper home for the first time. Every photo had a story, a love, a dream we had lived together. But now, they all looked like dirty faces of lies, as every smile hid a deception, every memory a painful wound that was telling me that this happiness was just a lie. I trusted us, Mark and Sarah, with all my heart. I put my whole heart, every piece of my life in their hands. I considered Mark my support, Sarah my home of friendship. I thought that these people are that part of my life who will never leave me alone. I handed over my dreams, my happiness, everything to them, with the belief that this bond is true. And now, it all seemed like a lie, as if someone has stolen the meaning of my life from me. A deep pain was eating away my heart. With every breath, a storm was rising inside. It was slowly tearing me apart from within, as if my whole body was turning into dust. In the following days, I roamed around in my life like a ghost, as if my whole body had been wiped out, a shadow that was just roaming around with an empty heart, neither the passion to live nor the peace to stay, just a lifeless ghost that was searching for itself in every corner of the house. The food would not be eaten until the plate was kept in front of me. Even the aroma of hot food could not touch my heart. Every morsel would not go down from my throat, as if something was tied in the stomach like a knot. Sleep ran away from my eyes. I would lie on bed at night, stare at my chest. My eyes would repeatedly open with the pain in my heart, but not even a moment of sleep came, as if it too had gone away from me. My attention stopped on just one thing, that deception which was eating me from inside, a painful pain that was cutting my heart. With every breath, it would give a new blow, as if some knife was repeatedly coming into my eyes. Every time I looked at Mark, his face, his sweet smile, which used to give peace to my heart earlier, now it felt like I was wearing a lie. The spark of the lie in his eyes would move on my heart like a knife. Every glance reminded me that this was the person to whom I trusted everything. The love I had seen in her, those nightly conversations, the comfort of holding hands, those moments we lived together, now seemed like a dirty drama, like a false drama that ruined my heart, and every memory turned into a new pain, tearing me apart from within. Every day when I passed by Sarah's house, the pain of her infidelity would ignite a fire in my heart, as if a flame was burning me from the inside, a flame on every step that would cheer my heart. That house, where we used to sit for hours and talk, spend our days laughing and joking with a cup of coffee in our hands, had now become a pain-filled scene. Every memory was giving me a new pain. Those days when we were together in high school, those nights when he told me the secrets of my heart, those moments when I considered him my dearest friend, now all of them were attacking my heart like a piece of cloth. The most painful was that silence, a wound that secretly made its way into my heart. He neither gave any reason, nor said a single word as to why this happened, nor did he apologize from his heart, which might have given me a little relief. I just left behind a heavy burden, a weight that crushed me with every breath, the realization that they had destroyed every sacred relationship of my life. Mark's love, Sarah's friendship, and every true happiness. Those little moments, those dreams of companionship, bite by bit, as if someone was awakening my home, my heart, my world with his own hands. I stopped going to work. The library, which was once my small world of peace, now keeping my feet there felt like a punishment. That place where the fragrance of books used to let me lose myself in it, where light silence was my friend, where I used to hide my pain between old sheets. Now my breathing started getting choked as if the deaf were trying to choke me. Small talks of people, some careless laughter, some daily gossip would make another attack on the heart. Every sound felt like a knife which would make my wound deeper. Though they did not see the pain of my broken life, how would they know that all the color of my world had been wiped out, but their indifference was making the pain in my heart even heavier, as if I was drowning alone in this storm. I hid my face from my friends. I did not have the courage to look at their faces, those people who earlier were a part of my laughter, with whom I shared the words of my heart. How could I face them now? The phone's ring would make my heart tremble. Every ring would become a pain, as if someone was about to ask me a question. Emily, what happened? Is everything fine? And what would I answer? Stepping out of the house became a pain. Every step felt like a burden. How could I talk to the world with a false face, dance with a smile, when my whole world was drowned in a storm? There was a fire in my heart, tears in my eyes, and a silent cheek inside that was saying that everything was broken. My love, my friendship, my trust. Everything was destroyed in one stroke. The house that I had seen with love, every wall, every corner that I had decorated with my hands, those curtains that we chose together, that small table where we used to joke, now felt empty and vacant, as if there was a museum where pieces of my old life are kept. That wedding day, that first laugh, those dreams which we weaved together, a story which was no longer mine, a painful scene which reminded me with chills that everything was lost, as if someone had wiped away my happiness with his own hands. Just Jasper, our beloved cat. It seemed as if it understood my pain from the heart. That little soul. He looked at me with his big eyes. He would sit quietly beside me on the sofa. He would press his soft body against mine. His slight warmth and heartbeat would touch me. He was the only solace, a small support that was giving me the courage to stand in this storm, as if he was saying that I am not alone. There is still a little light left. I became a stranger within myself, as if my soul had been lost somewhere, an empty leaf that was covering me every moment, as if I could not recognize myself. That face which I saw when I came was not my Emily. That Emily who believed in love from the heart, who considered friendship as her strength, who considered loyalty as the essence of life. She broke into pieces, like a mirror breaks into pieces after falling on the ground, and each piece becomes a separate pane. Now there was an empty sheet in her place, a girl who sat in the darkness, questioning every truth. Was love ever true? Was the meaning of friendship also a lie? Doubting every memory, those moments of laughter, those night talks, those promises that Mark and Sarah made. Everything seemed like a lie, as if my life was a game in which I alone lost. For almost 10 years I built a life with Mark. Every moment I believed in my heart that we are together in this journey, those mornings when we drank tea together, those evenings when we went hiking, those little dreams we weaved for each other. I thought we lived for each other. We have each other's support, a bond that even a storm cannot break. And now I realized who I am without them, without Mark, whose love was my world, without Sarah, whose friendship was my peace. This thought used to awaken a deep fear in my heart, as if a black darkness was encircling me, a deep abyss in which I was falling, where there was neither light nor path. But in a small corner of my heart, there was a small fire, a flame that was burning silently. I will not let it destroy me completely. I cannot end this pain. I promised myself that no matter how much pain I feel, no matter how much my heart breaks, I will pick myself up again. I will become a new Emily who can fight this storm. The next few days were spent in a painful haze, as if my soul was drowning in a fierce storm. I could see neither a path nor a shore, only darkness that was engulfing me every moment. My heart and mind were in a frenzy. All kinds of thoughts were running through my mind. Sometimes I remembered Mark's smile, sometimes Sarah's loving face, and every memory was engulfing me every moment in the form of a sharp pain, as if some poison was slowly seeping into my breath. I used to sit for hours and think that I should leave everything behind this house, these memories, this pain, and settle in a new world somewhere far away, some place where neither Mark's lies could touch me, nor the pain of Sarah's infidelity could heal my heart. But with this thought alone, my heart would break once again. A deep wound would rise from within, because this house was mine. I had built this life with love, and leaving it was like wiping out my own soul. Or should I stand in front of them again, ask my heart from the cheek, why did you betray me? Why did you ruin my love, my friendship like this? I would demand answers till my voice stops, see that shame, that guilt on their faces, which might give a little solace to the pain in my heart. I thought that Mark's face would droop, Sarah's eyes would fill with tears, and they would say that all this was a mistake, a small lie which could ease the pain in my heart. But my heart also knew that no answer could fill this wound. But he could not get all that which my heart was really demanding. Justice, a right which was mine, something which reminded me that I am greater than this pain, because my heart deserved more than just being broken. The love which I gave to Mark, the loyalty which I kept for Sarah, the years which I spent in making my life, all this could not be erased in a lie. I wanted to get back my happiness, my peace, the laughter that sometimes echoed in the house, the chain that I found in my arms at night, the trust that was my strength. I wanted to win it all again with my own hands. I wanted to bring my heart back to life by fighting a battle. I started digging with a passion that was born from this deep pain of mine, a fire that was not making me helpless, but was giving me courage. I left Mark's laptop when he went to work in the morning. There was silence in the house, only the thumping of my heart and the trembling of my fingers. I searched for everything that could open the dirty story of his betrayal. Open folders, check old files, guess passwords, with a fear in my heart. I got heartbreaking messages, small words that started with love, but were not for me. We will meet at night. You are my happiness. Hidden conversations in emails, plans for the day and night. Words written for someone else that would cheer the heart. The hotel receipts that were revealing the secrets of their hidden nights. A day, a time, a place where I could not even think. And a savings account that was hidden from me. Money which perhaps got added for their new dreams. Each proof was a new stab at the heart. A fire that was burning me from within. Eyes would flow, breath would stop, but I did not stop myself. I turned this pain into courage and moved ahead, as if I was fighting to get my rights even in a storm. I was trying to join the pieces of my heart again. I printed it all out. Every message, every email, every receipt that told the dirty story of their lies and fraud, with trembling in my hands and a fear in my heart, as if each paper was touching a new wound. Then I put them all in a box. I gathered my pain, my proofs, my broken world in a small box, as if hiding from it became my strength. I took time to meet a divorce lawyer. While talking on the phone, my heart was pounding as if a war was about to begin. My heart was eager to fight for its rights, a fire that would neither dim nor stop. The lawyer was a sharp-eyed woman, Ms. Carter. Her face was strong but soft, as if she could recognize the pain of my story. She sat quietly listening to my story while I scattered all the pieces of my broken heart in front of her. Every message that was a lie of love, every receipt that was revealing the secrets of their hidden nights, every single word that was cut cutting my heart. I poured out my tears, my anger, my helpless condition in front of her as if a burden was being lifted from my heart. She kept flipping the papers, running her finger on every receipt, reading every message carefully, sometimes looking towards me as if she was reading the pain in my eyes. Then, after a long silence, she looked straight into my eyes. There was a confidence in her gaze, and she said in a firm, warm voice, "Your case is strong, Emily. This proof, this story, this pain, this will give you the rights. If you want to get your full rights, to get your life, your peace back, we can fight this battle with all our heart, together, so that you can raise your head and live again." Her words became a small light in my heart, as if my pain was going to become my strength. Her words lit a small light in my heart, as if a lamp of hope was lit in the deep darkness, a slight spark that brought a new ray of light into my broken world. Ms. Carter's firm voice, the faith in her eyes, as if it was telling me that everything was not over yet, that the wounds in my heart could still find solace. Just hearing this became a support for my soul, a feeling like a strong arm pulling me out of this deep ocean. For many days I was helpless, drowned in a fierce storm, surrounded by pain and silence every moment, as if even my breath had been taken away from me. But now I was taking control of my life in my hands, a new courage, a fire that was burning in my heart, which was telling me that now I will fight. I was not just ending the marriage, but I was breaking their web of lies, one by one, that they had cunningly woven around me. The lie that was hidden behind Mark's smile, the deception that was behind Sarah's friendship, I had to tear them all to pieces. I would expose their dirty lies in front of them all. I would show the world how they had stolen my love, my trust, my happiness. I would expose every message, every receipt, every promise that was a lie. What is mine, my right, my peace, the life I saw in my dreams? I will bring it back with my hands, with the strength of my heart, and I will walk with my head held high with a fire in my heart, a flame that will neither be extinguished nor will it subside. I will not become a victim anymore. That Emily, who was suppressed by pain, will now stand up, because this pain, instead of breaking me, will give me new strength, the zeal of a new beginning, with which I will join my life again. The first journey happened with Sarah, and at that moment a fierce storm arose in my heart, as if all the pain of the world had been filled in my eyes together. I reached her apartment, legs trembling, heart was pounding loudly. The same place where we shared joys together, those moments which were the peace of my life. That house, where we would sit on the wine-stained couch and talk for hours, sometimes share our small dreams, sometimes reveal the secrets of our heart, sometimes laugh so much that even the housekeepers would seem happy. That IKEA furniture which we had put together, we used to joke that it is so cheap and easy to break. Still, we can sit on it and drink tea. We will create new dreams with each other, some short trip, some day which we will spend together. But now all that has become a painful wound, as if every memory, every laugh was attacking the heart like a small piece of cloth, a wound which was getting deeper with every moment. When she opened the door, her face clearly disappeared, as if in a moment her soul trembled with fear, a hesitation in her eyes, a blush on her face that was filled with shame and fear. "Emily, she began, her voice trembling, as if she was searching for words to stop this pain, but I cut her voice in the middle. The anger in my heart could not be controlled. A blazing fire arose which was ready to burn away the trust of years, the love of friendship. Standing in front of him with tears in my eyes and a storm in my heart, I let go of the anger that was eating me up from within, because now I could not remain silent. "You were my sister," I said in a cold but soft voice, each word bringing pain to my heart, as if blood was flowing from a wound, a burning sensation that was destroying the trust of years in a moment. "I trusted you the most in this world, Sarah. I shared all my secrets with you, sometimes a heartache when I had a small fight with my Mark, sometimes a happy moment when life was filled with laughter. I told you every small and big thing. You listened to everything I said, put your hand on my shoulder, and then you took my Mark, my love, my life, as if my whole body had become a game." She was stunned, as if my words had attacked her heart with a sharp knife. Her face turned red, her eyes filled up, her body trembled for a moment, but she could not deny it, as if the truth was standing naked in front of her. "That's it. It just happened like this," she said in a slow, broken voice, lowering her eyes as if she wanted to bury herself in the ground in shame. "We had not planned this, Emily. It was a matter of the heart, a mistake that just happened." But his words were setting my heart on fire, a burning sensation that could not be stopped, as if every word had turned into poison and was spreading in my soul, a pain that was burning me from within, because this was not a small mistake. My world was coming to an end. I shook my head. My hands were shaking. My fingers were tied by another person. My heart was fighting a violent storm, an anger, a yearning that spread through my breath. Tears filled my eyes, but I stopped myself, because this pain was now going to become my strength. "You could have stopped, Sarah," I said, pain and anger oozing out of my voice, each word coming out from a single wound, as if every piece of the heart was chilling. "You could have told me once, just once. You could have said from your heart, 'Emily, this is happening,' and maybe I would have been torn, but at least your truth would have deserved my friendship. But you deceived me secretly, lived a dirty lie, sitting with me every day, listening to my stories, joining in my laughter. You made me realize that we are still friends, the same old Sarah and Emily, when you were awakening my life from behind, were ruining my home, my love, that home where I weaved dreams, that love I lived with Mark. You wiped it all out with your hands, as if my whole body had become a game." Tears filled his eyes. I saw saw a storm in them. His face turned red. He bowed down in shame and pain. His hands were shaking and he was holding someone else, but I did not get any relief. Those tears were not his right, they were mine. They were my heart, which was crying every moment. With every breath, blood was flowing from a wound. A pain which he gave me, which kept me awake all night, was eating me all day. I looked at his face. That friend who was once my strength had now become a cheater, and my heart does not feel sorry for him anymore. I could. Then the time for my marks came, and a new fire ignited in my heart. A passion for a fight which was now preparing me to take back my rights because I was not going to keep quiet anymore. I waited for him at home. There was a raging fire in my heart and a wave of fear, as if a storm was hitting my eyes again and again. Every heartbeat was announcing a war. I spread all the evidence on the kitchen table like a scene of crime messages, which revealed the secret of their lies, hotel receipts, which told the story of their hidden nights, emails and those words which should have been for me, but were written for Sarah. All these fell on the table like a big storm, as if the evidence of my broken life was open before the world. My hands were trembling while touching each paper. I was trying to hide the tears in my eyes, but the anger and pain in my heart was preparing me. When Mark came in through the door, his face was first filled with surprise, as if he did not understand what this scene was. Then in a moment he was drowned in fear. There was a flash, a panic in his eyes, as if he had seen his dirty truth in my sharp glance, his deception which he could no longer hide. "You knew," I said in a pained voice, a tear coming out of my heart, which was the anger of breaking years of love, trust, and dreams together. "You knew that one day this lie will come in front of my eyes, that this deception of yours, this false love of yours will break me from inside, will make every moment of my life a wound," I said. There was a yearning in my voice, a burning sensation that was coming out with every word. She ran her hand through her hair, passing her fingers through them repeatedly, as if she wanted to hide something out of fear and shame. She lowered her eyes, avoided my eyes. Her face got pressed in shame, as if she wanted to be buried in the ground. His silence, his stealing glances, were another stab in my heart, as if his silent lie was breaking me even more. But now I was not going to remain silent. "I never wanted to hurt you, Emily," he said softly, his voice broken, trembling, as if he was filled with shame and fear, but his words could not touch my heart, like an empty promise that did not reach my heart. His eyes were lowered, face red, hands were restlessly roaming in my hair, but now this drama could not give even a little solace to the pain of my heart, because his lie had become the truth of my life. I let out a laugh in agony, tears filled my eyes, a burning sensation rose in my heart, as if the love of years was burning me like a fire. "Now what is the meaning of saying this, Mark?" I said, pain and anger mixed together in my voice. "You broke my trust, my love, which you showered upon me every moment, every dream of my life, that home, that laughter, those nights. You tore it all into pieces, as if someone were destroying my world with their own hands. And now you will have to pay its price, because my heart will never be free from this pain. This wound will not leave me helpless, but will give me the strength to fight." He wanted to explain, wanted to say something in broken words. "Emily, listen, I was wrong. I didn't think so." But his words sounded like empty talk, as if another veil of lies was being put on my pain. I was not in the mood to listen. My heart was tired now. It was broken by the tears of the night and the pain of the day. Now it was impossible to bear any more lies. I had proof. Those messages, receipts, emails. He had helped every part of my broken life. He was my lawyer, who became the support of my battle. My decision was as firm as a rock, like a fire that will not be extinguished now. Now I was not fighting for him, but for myself, for the rights of my heart, for the peace of my soul. A new beginning that would take me out of this storm, because now I will join myself again. There was such a silence in the courtroom that was pressing down on the body like a weight, as if every breath would stop. A deep silence that was echoing in the ears. The blows from the doors hit my heart like a gun, which was choking me from inside. A pain that was piercing my chest again and again. I sat beside Miss Carter, closed my hands in her lap and fist. Fingers got clasped so tightly by one another that the nails were pricking the hands. The beat of my heart was rising like a storm, as if my heart was trembling every moment. Mark and his lawyer were standing in front of me and talking. Their voices sounded like a subtle hint that I was overreacting, that this was just a small mistake, that I should be punishing him for it. Their words were piercing my heart, as if all my agony, my pain had become a joke. But my heart was burning. A cheek wanted to come out from inside. This was not a mistake. It was a betrayal. A dirty lie that took away all the peace of my life, the love that I gave to Mark, the trust that I had seen for years. All was reduced to dust in a moment. I was demanding justice, the right for the wounds in my heart, the answer for the pain that kept me awake all night, the right to the love that I fulfilled from my heart, and the right to the house in which I weaved dreams, which had now become just a broken scene. When the judge announced his decision, everything felt like a dream, as if the whole world had stopped for a moment, a silence that could stop even the beating of my heart, where even time was watching my pain and victory. The judge's voice echoed, every word was bringing a new light, and my heart was filled with fear and hope simultaneously, as if this could be true. Mark would have to pay more legal fees, the cost of his lies, and other things were handed over to me. The prenuptial agreement he had signed years ago, a small piece of paper that might have been a formality at that time, but now that forgotten promise had become my strength, a strong weapon of my victory, which became the answer to the wounds in my heart. The house became mine, the house in which I weaved dreams, ran my hands lovingly on each wall, where I laughed, talked, and lived the peace of nights with Mark, where we planned our life together. Now it was the sign of my victory, a proof that I got my rights back, that this house was now only mine, my peace, my story. I fought for the savings, spent day and night with pain, collected proofs, gave courage to my heart that money should remain mine, a little peace which was telling my heart that I am not empty-handed, nor am I broken, but am ready for a new beginning, a new path where I could again join my dreams, my heart, a life which will now be only mine. Coming out of the court, I took a long, deep breath, filling my eyes with the cool afternoon breeze, as if every breath was slowly easing the pain in my heart, a gentle coolness that was wiping away the tears of the night, the heat of the day. The gusts of wind touched my face, caressed my hair, and kept a small light awake in my heart, a hope that was fighting that dense darkness where I had been drowning for a long time. I had won, not just in the case, but something big, something priceless. I had regained my strength, my own soul's confidence, the faith that Mark and Sarah's deception had taken away was now in my hands. A courage had awakened in my heart, a fire that was leading me out of this terrible storm, as if I had seen a shore in a stormy ocean, where I could breathe again, could find myself again. Life moved forward, slowly but surely, as if the heart was searching for a reason to live again, waiting for a new morning. Every day was a small step, sometimes sitting in a corner of the house and talking to myself, sometimes a moment of laughter with Jasper, sometimes looking at myself in the mirror and finding a new Emily. My heart was still full of pain, but there was still a small fire burning in it, a passion that was saying that I am still alive, I can still dream, and I can create my life again with my own hands. I sold the old house, the house where every corner had memories of pain, the sofa where Mark and I would sit and talk, the kitchen where we would cook together. The caregivers who saw our laughter and dreams had now become just a visible wound. Every room would chillingly remind me that this love, this peace was a lie, and this pain had to be left behind. Then I took a small home, just enough for me and Jasper, a small place where the morning light came from the window, a mild breeze touched the heart, a new beginning where I could join my dreams again. I could make a new home, a new heart with my hands. I returned to work at the library, and there, life embraced me again. The old smell of books that took me to a different world, the old routine where a little work every day soothed the heart, the light silence that echoed in the ears and slowly calmed the heart. Everyone felt like one of mine, as if those books, that place understood my yearning, gave me gentle support, and yes, I started dating too. Now as per my own wish, as per my own rules, with a new hope in my heart, a small light that was saying that maybe love can still be alive. Sitting with someone over coffee for the first time, hearing a new laugh, getting to know a new person, as if I can again give a chance to love, to happiness, but now to the sun of my heart, on my own shoulders. The smoke changed me, made me a new Emily, but not as they thought. It couldn't break me. It couldn't erase my heart. I was still standing even after the pain. A fire was burning in my heart, which was telling me that I can get through this storm and learn to love myself again. Now I was not that woman who went blind after being separated from her loved ones, that Emily who trusted Mark's love and Sarah's friendship so much that their betrayal covered her eyes. She was running with pain in her heart, as if she had become a ghost and was searching for peace in every corner of the house. Those nights when the tears would not stop, those days when the heart would drown in the empty pan with a load, all of that vanished. I survived, fought a deep storm, left my tears and pain behind, and stood up again and became even stronger. Like a tree that bends in a storm, fights the gusts of wind, but doesn't break by remaining firm with its roots. I too got up with the strength of my heart, connecting myself with a new light. Now I was about to leave, no matter what life brought in front of me. Some new pain, some new challenge, some moment that would try to make me bow down again. This pain of the heart, this moment will give me the courage to face it. This wound which was eating me earlier now became my root, a fire that was telling me that I am still alive. I can still fight, because now I would not accept defeat, nor would I turn away from my dreams, nor would I give up my life. I was a new Emily, who could recreate her life with her own hands, a woman who learned to love herself even after going through pain. Being fine was not a one-night job. It was a long, painful experience that kept covering my heart, as if a dark change had settled on my eyes every moment, a storm that was shaking me from within. For months, I carried the burden of smoke in my body, as if it had become my second screen. A heavy vehicle that was pressing me down with every breath, was cheering my heart, was giving me a new shock with every beat. I would lie on the bed all night, looking at the pussy. Everything, every lie would come to my mind again and again. Mark's smile, which used to give peace to the heart earlier, now seemed like a thorn in my flesh. Sarah's words, "We are always together, Emily," which she said to her heart every time, now would become a dirty lie and echo in my mind. I kept thinking, in the darkness of the night, with tears in my eyes, where was my mistake? Where did I choke that I got this wound? Did I love them too much? Did I trust them blindly? Did I put my life in their hands? But slowly, one day, one morning, when the first ray of the sun came from the window, a truth arose in my heart. A ray of light arose. I was not defeated. They were defeated. They destroyed my love, which I gave from my heart, my trust, which I had seen for years, in a moment, as if someone was burning my world with his hands. And that moment I took a stand, made a firm resolve in my heart, that their decisions will not leave my life, my soul. I will not erase my heart, my dreams, my happiness with their lies, but will lift lift myself up again. I rebuilt myself from scratch, like rebuilding a broken house from the ground, putting each piece, each part together with my own hands. A new foundation, a new heart, a new body that was rising from the mine of pain. On the first day, I was just crying, but then I gathered courage and I gathered myself step by step, as if I had promised to rebuild my life with love. I searched for time in solitude, in those small, silent moments when I was alone with my thoughts, sometimes sitting on bed in the dark of night, staring at the ceiling with tears in my eyes, sometimes standing quietly near a window in the morning light, talking to myself. But every time I saw that I was still standing, a courage that was rising from my heart, a fire that was slowly burning in my soul, was saying that this pain cannot alleviate me. I found peace in the new routine, a new way of living that was slowly calming my heart. The first sip of morning tea, when the sister getting up from the hot cup kissed my face, gave a slight peace. The soft touch of Jasper, its small beat of the heart, his sitting beside me and kissing me, as if he understood my pain. The light breeze that came from the window caressed the hair, gave a soft coolness to the heart. These small joys, which were not visible earlier, were now slowly touching the heart, as if life was telling me that there is still peace left. And most importantly, I got my voice back. That passion, those words of my heart that had been hidden by the deceivers, were now mine again. Sometimes by talking to myself, sometimes by seeing my face in the future, I listened to my heart. That courage, that truth that had been suppressed by the lies of Mark and Sarah, now became my strength, a fire that was telling me that I am still alive. I can still fight for myself. I was no longer that woman who was torn apart by washing, a helpless heart that drowned in pain, who lay on bed with tears at night, spent the whole day in empty sheets, as if the meaning of my life had been taken away. That Emily, who went blind from Mark and Sarah's lies, that heart which kept bleeding from wounds every moment, was now pushed back. I became a strong, sensible, and unbreakable girl, a heart burning with a fire that would not be extinguished by any storm now. No matter how much pain I felt, no matter what darkness of the world engulfed me, I was now standing on my feet with courage that was rising from my heart, a flame that was saying that I am still alive. I can still write my own story. Whoever is going through something like this, I want to tell you from the bottom of my heart, with all my strength, you are not weak. This pain cannot bear on your heart. It cannot make you happy. You are not broken. Rather, you are in the middle of a battle where you can fight for yourself, for your heart, for your peace. You can take back your rights with your own hands. You have the right to be sad, those tears that flow through the night, that agony that cuts the heart. This is yours. You have the right to be angry. The fire that burns with deception is your strength. You have the right to fight for your heart because this wound is yours. You felt this pain, and you will have to answer for it too. I wish from my heart that you get up from this pain, embrace your soul, and take your life in your hands again because you deserve it.